Hello and welcome to another episode of IBI On Site. I'm your host, Hayden Grove, here at Eastwood Field in Niles, Ohio, where the Mahoning Valley Scrappers have started their 2014 campaign. Now, there are a lot of new faces here with the Scrappers, so to get you introduced, I'm going to talk to Indians' first-round pick in 2014, Mr. Bradley Zimmer. Take a look. I now have the distinct pleasure of being joined by the Indians' first-round pick here in 2014, Mr. Bradley Zimmer. How's it going thus far?
Great. I'm having a great time. Happy to be out here finally, getting in the lineup, starting to compete. So looking forward to, progressing, with my career starting here.
Now, we all saw the pictures of draft night, of you on draft night. What was that moment like for you? Can you explain a little bit?
Oh, yeah. It was unbelievable. Something that I'll, never forget. Having all my friends and family there, pretty special moment.
Now, your brother was a top pick back in the day. What can he give you, and what kind of advice did he, try to bestow upon you as you start this journey?
I think it was just, a combination of him just giving me like a little insight on, going out there and having fun with it and just doing, what I've done the last few years and enjoying the process. And then, just having fun with it is, I think, the main thing. And, the rest will kind of take care of itself.
Is that a valuable tool to have in your arsenal, just kind of somebody you can call on and say, hey, what do I do in this situation?
Yeah, definitely. I talk to him every day. I love him to death. He's been my role model since day one, so pretty cool having an older brother who's also in the MLB organization and in the AL Central also, so hopefully I'll get to face him here in the near future.
Now, you came from California and University of San Francisco. Did you have any impression of Northeast Ohio and what you were going to expect when you came out here?
No impression. This is my first time out here, so far it's been treating me well. Everyone's really nice. Seems like the fans are pretty cool here. Everyone gets into it, so having a good time so far.
Now, being a college student coming into playing professional baseball, what has been the biggest adjustment thus far? Because you might have a little bit of an advantage being a little older. What has the adjustment been like from college to pro?
I haven't really seen like a big jump yet. I feel like it's been kind of similar. Everyone is obviously, good, and there's a lot of good athletes out here. So I think it's just that competitive nature going out there and just competing every day. Is what kind of will progress you.
Now, when you get to this level, what things are you working on thus far? It's early on in the process, but what kind of things at the plate or in the field are you working on?
I think just controlled aggression, whether that be on the bases, in the batter's box, just kind of getting my feet wet and just overall, it being aggressive, but with control and having discipline at the plate and all that.
Now, for fans who may have not seen you play, might not know what you're all about, how would you describe your game? Is there anybody you like in your game too?
I like watching Carlos Gonzalez play. I think he kind of just leads by example, I guess. The guy can hit, he can run, he can field. So that's something that I'm trying to develop into, is someone who can hit for power and play good defense.
Is the power coming? We have, it's early on, but is that something that a lot of guys at this level struggle with early on, is power? Is your power there right now?
Yeah, I feel like it's there. I've only played in a couple games now, so we'll see, the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm just kind of getting into it, so we'll see.
All right, to move a little bit off the baseball field, we kind of want to get to know you a little bit as you're new to the organization. What are the things that you like to do when you have a little bit of off time, say from baseball or from just the everyday grind?
Being from California, love going to the beach, love surfing, being outside. I've been an outdoors guy for a long time. Doesn't seem like there's much of a beach here, but I like golfing. So we're actually talking about maybe golfing off day or something like that. So we'll see.
How much time do you get? Right now it's got to be a daily thing. Like, you're not going to get much time, but do you get any time off?
I don't think so. When you're playing professional baseball, you're playing. Here we're playing, 70, 75 games, but, you're playing 100-plus games, so not many off days. You're playing pretty much every day, so you got to love it.
All right, and finally, what are you looking forward to most about the professional baseball experience? This has probably been a dream of yours since you were a little kid. What are you looking forward to most about the experience?
Just enjoying the process, I think. Being able to say that you're a professional baseball player is something that I've, wanted to do for a long time, so with that said, just going out there and getting better every day and, getting to the ultimate goal, which is being a big league ball player.
All right, well, there you have it. Bradley Zimmer, first-round pick of the Indians here in 2014. Thanks so much for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, when we get back, we'll have more for you on IBI On Site.
Hi, this is Tony Lastoria from Indians Baseball Insider. The new 2014 Cleveland Indians Baseball Insider Top 100 Prospects and More book is now available at IndiansBaseballInsider.com, Amazon.com, and also local retail outlets at the Lake County Captains and the Mahoning Valley Scrappers team store.
Welcome back to IBI On Site. I'm now joined by Sean Brady, pitcher for the Mahoning Valley Scrappers and former Indians 5th-round pick. What has the adjustment been like coming from Arizona all the way out here to Youngstown?
Just the competition. The competition here is a little bit tougher, so you really have to make a bigger adjustment hitter to hitter than you do in Arizona.
Now, competition being a lot better out here, what does that mean for you on the mound?
Locating your pitch is better. I mean, you have to really pitch to these guys. You can't really just throw your changeup and get away with it here.
Now, as a younger guy coming from Florida out of high school, what has the adjustment been like going from, very young hitters who might not know as much to professional hitters in such a quick period?
Yeah, it's definitely a big jump from Arizona to here, but I mean, the goal is still the same. You just let them put the ball in play and let your defense make plays.
Now, this league is also a lot about development. What has been the difference between, Arizona and Mahoning Valley in terms of just routine and development type stuff?
The routine's still the same. I mean, as a pitcher, you just keep your routine, and I'm sure as a position player, your routine's still the same no matter what level you're at, and that's what helps you move along easier.
Now, we talked a little bit about team atmosphere here. How does that play into your development, just having more guys to talk to, more guys to, hang around?
Yeah, when you're more of a team, I mean, you want your team to succeed. When you want your team to succeed, you're going to do better. So when you have a team atmosphere, it's definitely a lot easier.
Now this year it's been pretty early thus far, but how do you think you've been playing or pitching thus far?
I've been pitching pretty well, giving my team a chance is the only thing that really you want to do. So when you do that, then you're doing pretty good.
All right, now a lot of fans in Northeast Ohio might not know a lot about you. What are some things that you like to do in your free time, your spare time when you're not at the game?
Actually, what these guys are doing right here, they're playing a little fungo golf. Either playing fungo golf or actually playing real golf. Real golf is definitely a lot of fun to play.
Now, being from Florida, what has the adjustment been like coming here to Ohio? I mean, has that been hard for you or easy or what?
No, the adjustment from Florida to Ohio is easy. The adjustment from Arizona to Ohio is a little bit more difficult.
Okay, why is that?
Arizona is definitely a lot harder to be in. It feels like you have a hot air dryer blowing on your face at all times. So being here is a little bit better than Arizona.
I talked to a few guys that said Ohio's more humid than Florida. I don't agree because I'm from Florida as well. What do you think about that?
Florida's definitely worse than Ohio. That Florida weather is definitely worse.
All right, and does that make it easier to pitch here?
I mean, it's the same. When you're out on the mound, you don't really tell the difference.
All right, and then finally, what are you looking forward to about the rest of this year, just pitching and being at this level, finally in Northeast Ohio, closer to the Indians? What are you looking forward to about this year?
Just getting out there and playing and hopefully winning a ring.
All right. Well, it took a couple of tries, but finally I was able to spit the words out in the English language, so I appreciate your patience and all the best going forward.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, when we get back, we'll have more from IBI On Site.
This is IBI's Jim Piascik, encouraging you to check out my weekly piece, The War Room. The War Room runs every Sunday, bringing you the kind of advanced stats for Cleveland's minor leaguers you can't find anywhere else. So please join me each Sunday, and let me take you into the War Room.
Welcome back to IBI On Site. I now have the pleasure of being joined by play-by-play guy for the Mahoning Valley Scrappers, Mr. Tim Postguy, who probably knows this team more than anyone. He's been here for about 3 years. And what's different about this team than the teams that you've seen in the past? I was here a lot last year covering the Scrappers. What is different from that team that struggled throughout the year?
The big difference is that we're a lot older this year, a lot more college guys, and this is the kind of league where the college guys can dominate and can really win a lot of games, especially when you're going up a lot of high school draft picks from the last year or two, a lot of Latin kids coming in for the first time. So having the older college kids is really going to allow the team to gel, and once they come together, because talent-wise it's probably the best team talent overall that we've had in my 3 years, and we're starting to see them start to gel together a little bit. Record's not where we want it to be right now, but of course at this level it's more development than it is record. But once they all start coming together and get used to being a professional rather than a college player, then I think this team's getting ready to take off.
Now, you say you've seen a lot of talented guys here. Is there anybody that's standing out right now in your eyes?
A couple guys. Obviously, first-round pick Bradley Zimmer. He's off to a little bit of a slow start, but I think a lot of that just comes with the pressure of being the first-round draft pick. You think every swing you take, you have to prove yourself to the organization. So once he kind of settles into it and just gets back into being a baseball player, he's going to take off. Other than that, Greg Allen out of San Diego State, sixth-rounder, outfielder. He's been on a tear since he started playing. I think his first game he went 4 for 5 with a triple. And ever since then, he leads the team with 9 runs scored already. He has a couple doubles, a triple. He's really been seeing the ball well, hitting from both sides of the plate. But when you come out of a program where you're taught by Tony Gwynn, I mean, you should be able to come out and hit the ball. Other than him, probably Steven Patterson, our 10th rounder out of UC Davis. He's second baseman. Not a big kid, but plays the game well. Talking with our manager, Teddy Kubiak, he said that he's probably the brightest baseball mind for a college kid or a high school kid that he's seen in a long time. And so he really understands the game and can play it at a very competitive level. As he's been, I think he went 5 games in a row with a double and driving in a run, so he's been off to a tear as well.
Now, one of the guys that Tony Lastoria talked about when we were first here for Media Day was Francisco Mejia behind the plate. What does he bring to this team? Teddy Kubiak said he might have the best arm he's ever seen from a catcher ever.
Yeah, it's literally like a thunderbolt attached to the right side of his body. When he throws the ball, it's a straight rocket straight to second base, chest high. He's thrown out probably everybody this year that's tried to run on him. Even if he blocked the ball and it rolls away a little bit, he's been able to throw him out. The only time anyone's stolen him, I think he gave 2 stolen bases, and they were both on the pitcher. Just the jumps that the guys got off the pitchers. Swings the bat well from both sides of the plate. Still learning how to catch, still learning how to hit at this level. But again, he's only 18 years old, just out of the Dominican last year. I think he said that he got signed at a 1 tryout, went right to the Arizona League, which is unusual because most of those guys go to the Dominican Summer League for at least a year or 2 to learn. He came right to the States and then right here this year. So he's still learning about baseball, still learning how to be a player, but you can see the potential there. You can see why he's one of the top 10 prospects in the organization.
Now, on the other side of the battery, the pitching mound, who has caught your eye thus far? We talked to Kieran Lovegrove a little bit. How is he progressing thus far?
Kieran's getting better. His first 2 outings were a little bit rough, but his last outing just the other night was much better, as he's a guy that you can see the talent, you can see the potential. It's just a matter of bringing it together at one time out on the mound, and each of his first 3 starts has gotten better. Last one, I think he went 5 1/3 and allowed 2 runs, so he was getting a lot better, getting better command of the zone, things like that. So he's really progressing the way that they want him to progress, and you can see why they took him where they did and why they gave him the kind of money they did to sign him, as he's got that talent. It's just a matter of bringing it all together and moving forward with it.
Is there anybody else on the mound that's caught your eye thus far?
Julian Merriweather. We took him this year out of, I think it was Oklahoma Baptist. He's the guy that he just goes out and he attacks the strike zone. There's no fooling around, no nibbling at corners, no trying to get fancy with off-speed stuff. He's just going out. He's going to get ahead, throwing strikes, and then he's going to use his stuff from there to set up a guy to strike him out. Or he's a guy that's going to pitch to contact, not a big strikeout guy. They're going to put the ball in play, and he's been on fire. I think he's starting for us tonight, so we'll see how he goes. His first 2 outings, I think maybe 1 run he's given up, if that. I haven't checked the stats today, but he's been just lights out since he's walked in.
Now, finally, there's a lot of roster changes that go on with this organization. Do you expect to see anybody else that the Indians drafted, or maybe that might be on their way down or up or whatnot?
It's hard to say, because especially when you got a lot of high school kids still out in Arizona, they're probably not going to move. The Indians like to keep them set in Goodyear and inside, so they have a hand on them all the time out there. There's still some unsigned draft picks. I think the World Series just ended, so I think Pappy's still out there. We don't know whether or not he's going to sign. I'd assume we may get him, but you never know. That's just an assumption on my part, just judging off the past years where the college guys come to us. But he's an advanced bat, and who knows? He may skip us and go right to Lake County. You never know, depending on what their needs are going to be. As far as guys on the roster now going up and down, some of the older guys are moving. I think today we just found out that Jimmy Stokes and Jorge Martinez went back up to Lake County. So, some of the older guys are going to move, but I don't think a lot of the draft picks this year, I think we'll have them for the whole year. Because just going back 2 years ago with Naquin and Wendell and those guys, they spent the entire season here until the playoffs in Lake County when they moved them up.
All right, well, there you have it, Mr. Tim Post guy, play-by-play guy, and media guy here for the Mahoning Valley Scrappers, Thanks so much for coming on today.
No, thanks for having me.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of IBI On Site from Eastwood Field. We hope you get out here to see some of the newest members of the Indians organization here at the Scrappers. Be on the lookout for another episode of IBI On Site next week as we take you through another location within the Indians organization. Until then, I'm Hayden Grove. We'll catch you next time.